I thought today's great topic would be, anyways, to talk about bird feeder cleaning and the importance of that. If there are any critics out there in the world on feeding birds, one of the things you'll hear them talk about is the chance of bird feeders being unhealthy for birds, and that is mainly due to people not cleaning them. It is important to clean birds. Birds come to your feeders from all over. You know, we talked last week about the juncos from way up north, and we have migrants that come in from the south from the winter, so they've been all over. And the chances of just one of those birds being sick at your bird feeders is slim, but it can happen. And if he comes in and he's sick, and he infects your bird feeder, and another bird comes behind him, then the chance of spreading disease. So people like Cornell University want you to advise you to clean your bird feeders on a regular basis. And what is regular basis? Well, if in a perfect world, at least once a month would be a good thing to do. I know most people can't do that, but as often as you possibly can, especially if you see a bird at your feeder that does appear to be sick. The most common sickness that we see in birds is very visual, are the house finches and their eye disease called conjunctivitis. And there was a picture brought in yesterday of a bird that had it at people's bird feeders. And these birds are very susceptible to this, and this spreads among them, and it knocks their populations down. And it takes a few years for house finches to rebound. Now there's been documents of that disease spreading to some other birds like goldfinches and even downy woodpeckers, and Cornell is wanting people to document if they see them at their feeders. They also immediately want you to clean your bird feeders if you see birds like that at your feeders, because they don't want that disease to spread among your resident birds. So how do we clean bird feeders? What is the best way to do it? It's actually very, very simple. What we do here, because we do so many in a day, we have big trash cans out back, fill them with water, and when people bring the bird feeders in, we make sure we dump all the seed out if they weren't brought and dumped before they come in, and then we soak them. We put lots of bird feeders in these tubs of water. So if you're at home, if you have a small trash can or something that you can soak your bird feeders in, for several minutes before you really start the scrubbing process, then that's advised, because it really helps loosen up all that, the oil and everything on them. And then I like a good soapy water cleaning and scrubbing mixture. Lots of brushes. Got different kind of brushes. Some people have their favorites, and whenever we do this every year, Joyce will have her favorite brush she likes to use, and John has a different kind of brush. Of course, we have a power washer too, which is a big help if you have that, to really get the hard stuff or the chunked on stuff. But using a good soapy water mixture will help you to get them cleaner. And that is obviously getting the oil off of them, scrubbing them, using a wash rag to wipe them down. You can do a lot, and it's up to you how thoroughly you want to clean your feeders. If you want to take them completely apart and scrub every part, that is a wonderful idea. But a lot of people are not willing to do that complete a job, and some feeders are much harder to take apart than others. So a good handy brush. We always say the right tool for the right job. Big long brush, medium-sized brush, things like that will make your life easier when you're doing scrubbing. So after you've scrubbed the feeders and got them pretty clean, obviously you want to rinse them good, but then the most important part of this whole process, in my opinion, is a 10% bleach solution. Some people will advocate 50-50 white vinegar and water, but scientifically we know that mild bleach solution, that 10% bleach solution, really is much better at killing bacteria, which is what's really important. So when we do it outside, our last process, when we hang our feeders up to dry, go to Hanville, we spray them down with a 10% bleach solution and let them air dry. Now, chlorine, which of course is the basis of bleach, evaporates very rapidly, so you're not going to harm your birds as long as you let them air dry good and then refill them and hang them back out. And you've got pretty clean bird feeders. Now, one thing I will advocate, I've been doing this a long time, and the bird feeder companies in the early days, 30 years ago, were all about anti-squirrel, making my feeders squirrel-proof or squirrel-resistant. And we were yelling for make your feeders easier to clean, because we want to advocate cleaning bird feeders, but people won't do it because they're so hard to get into. And then the company started listening to us. Aspect, wonderful company, our favorite bird feeder company, by the way, when it comes to tube feeders and hummingbird feeders. came out with these quick clean bases, which is magnificent. Now, when I take the top off and this off, and you can run your brushes all the way through there, and their perches are really easy to take out and put back in too. So makes it very easy. Whenever we're cleaning feeders today, we look forward to seeing aspect feeders come in, and we look forward to seeing squirrel buster feeders come in. They're so easy to take apart, clean everything, and get them back together. We dread certain feeders. I won't mention those because they're very hard to clean. But if you have one, you probably know what I'm talking about. So you can, if you're looking to replace a bird feeder, get one with an easy clean base. It'll make your life a lot easier. So thank you for tuning in. Share the videos, like them. Obviously, that helps us out. Until then, come by and let's talk birds.